Yeah.
Excellent connection.
Oh, there we
All right,
go.
let's click go live. We have a green dot that says excellent
Nice.
connection, and we are
Excellent.
now we're live. We're live.
All right. Okay.
Woo! All right. We got 25 people here. Hello,
Very
everybody.
nice.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome,
Very
welcome.
nice.
Can you hear us? It says excellent connection, so I'm pretty
That's
confident you
great.
can hear us. We're just looking at BTC right now. Just in this massive pump.
It
There's
looks
no
good.
comments. Where are the people saying things?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they. It's a good question. All right. I see chat going. Chat
You
is
see
going.
chat? You see chat? Okay. Oh, hey. 100%. Hello, hello. Hello, Sam and Pierre and De Villas. What was that pinging?
There's no pinging.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool. All right. Yes, looking at BTC at the moment. Hello, Nico, Nihal, Sam, Mark, Steve's here. We got Matt. Hello, Matt. All right. Okay. So we got SPX is also moving against the trend right now as well, a little bit. But this is a pretty strong downtrend, though, like relatively strong. I think this level here is still.
I don't know. This is a shit market. It's a shit market.
It's a shit
Fueled
market
with
to sell.
liquidity, like
It's a shit market to sell for sure.
unlimited money, Tom. They're printing unlimited money.
I
They
know.
just they're trying to raise the debt ceiling right now. It is fucking
Yes.
ridiculous. Look, it's entirely possible this thing just does another V correction from here and then just
Oh
goes
yeah.
much higher. It's
Like
entirely possible.
one thing, like $3 trillion industrial spending package, bang, V correction right here. It's like, okay. You know, so I'm always wary shorting this, right? I'm always so wary.
Yeah.
Like I really, like, you could almost call me long only SPX and BTC because I know that it can just teleport. Like one fine day it can just teleport up, you know? And it's like, okay. So yeah, I'm almost exclusively long only these markets, but yeah, in this type of time it's just like, okay, I'm just kind of not going to do anything right now. Wait for RTD to be back on my side, just like what happened here in BTC. RTD was obviously bearish, now it's bullish, and it's like, okay, we broke this previous high here. Let's see what happens. Are we buying 50k basically is the idea. Are we buying 50k?
If it doesn't continue from here, it will disappoint a lot of people. If it made a new low from here, that would be painful.
If it made a new low from here, that would be maximum pain. For sure, right? Like, if you just cleaned out everyone that bought this through here, just absolutely tore them out and just, you know, retested 37,500. It's just...
Oh, that would be funny. That would be so funny.
That would be pain. That would be pain.
But I don't think so.
No.
I think there's a good chance here, and the real tell would be how 50k reacts. Like how 50k reacts if there's a retest, which there probably will be. But when is the question? How 50k reacts will give us a good idea whether this is gonna remain or it's gonna.
Yeah, if this happens, if this happens again, probably.
It wouldn't be pretty. Like,
it wouldn't be
really
good.
Wouldn't.
Nah.
It would look like a scam, you know.
Yeah. Fishballs is asking, does Breakfree Trading work for scalping?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, yeah. I would say a 15-minute strategy is basically derived on scalping. That's what it is.
For sure.
So yeah, absolutely. You need the pro plan. You need to be level 4, which is very easy to get, and then you can scalp. There's so many 15-minute setups every day, and they do really well. Like they do really, really well. I am really impressed how well the 15-minute trades have been doing.
Yeah, when you really look through them, right, the 15-minute trades specifically versus like the 1 day or 4 hour trades, you can really see the difference between what a scalp looks like and what a swing position looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the scalp is really like a very small move where you're just in and out, and it's like you're not looking for that big move in the market. Whereas obviously our swing positions, you know, the higher time frame swing positions that we put together, they're really looking for those big moves in the market. And just, you know, like you always said, swing the bat in the direction of the market. So in direction of the overall
Like
trend.
during the weekend, we had several really good shitcoin trades that, you know, it's great to do if the market's closed anyway and you have nothing to do. One of them was FTM USDT. Can you search for that one, Tom?
Yeah, for sure. I think, did I say on Friday, like, shitcoin pump over the weekend? Question mark.
Yeah, you did. You did. And I was looking at this trade and I was thinking, if you think this weekend is gonna pump, this is how you go about it. And it did. And they went really well. You have to scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Oh yeah, there it is. Weekend crypto pump, I said 4 days ago. And then obviously this played out. Yeah, there it goes.
Maybe you can make it a little bit bigger.
Let's make it bigger, yeah. Let's make it bigger.
Yeah, let's make it. That's
okay.
good.
Where is that one? Oh, there it is right there.
Yeah, you can even zoom a little bit in. If you click on it and you scroll in, you can actually get a little bit closer look at it. So this was just like a beautiful trade. Like, it's very simple. And there was several of these trades over the weekend. Several. And I mean, if you're paying for Pro, you get access to this. I think you'll make your money back very fast. But have to say, you know, as well, there's a lot of trades where you need to be real quick to decide whether this is a trade you want to stay in or whether it's a trade you want to get out of. And that decision process and your ability to do so will determine your result, like how much money you can really extract from 15-minute trades. Because it's not for everyone. It is fun though, so I would recommend starting on a demo account and then just go about it. But they are fucking great, these trades, like really great trades in the most, like, the beautiful thing about this is that these trades, like, no matter how you look at them, some are better, some are worse, you know, some surprises, but the point is, these are still just like a fraction of all the possible trades you could be taking out there. There are millions of different opportunities you could do, really shitty ones and so on, but the majority of these Sonar trades that comes in are exceptional good trade ideas. Like they're really excellent.
Yeah, for sure. De Villas is asking what bridge connection does he need to be able to trade crypto on the weekend like this. So we've got the Binance bridge connection that you can use. Trade it on Binance, or you can just literally copy the values that you get into whatever exchange you want to use, right? There's some decentralized exchanges out there if your country doesn't allow Binance or whatever, and you can just copy the values over the trading platform you're using, right? It takes a couple of seconds. It's what we used to do back in the day, right? Before we had the luxury of trading with the bridge. So yeah, super easy. Just copy the values over to any exchange or connect on the Binance bridge, whichever one you want.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want. But yeah, these just again, I think it was the weekend before that as well, we had another, you know, crypto pump as well, and it was just 15-minute 1 hour trade just lining up, literally just one after the other, that were just like taking TP1, taking TP2, just left, right, and center.
The thing that people don't understand is that these crypto markets are very different from the Forex markets itself, and it's probably a lot easier to make money on them as well. It is. And then trading crypto, fuck.
Yeah. It's because there's so many retail participants, yeah? De Villas, so there are a few options in Binance which you use to get the best leverage. Oh, well, I mean, you can like leverage like 1,000 to 1 on Binance. So the best leverage is not an issue with Binance side of things. The options in Binance, whether you're using CoinM or what is it, like USDM or something like this, is whether you're going to be trading against a stable coin, being USDT or USDC or BUSD, or whether you're going to be trading against and settling your trades in another crypto. So it might be FTM against BTC, right? So that would be the coin M futures, whereas US dollar M futures is where you're settling the trades against a stable coin like this, okay? So that's the differences that you've got there on Binance. The other option is spot, and spot is where you have unleveraged. You're just spot buying. I use the word spot to describe spot, but where you're just basically buying without any leverage, no margin, nothing like that. You're just straight up buying the buying whatever crypto it is that you're trading there. So, yeah. Hello, Matt. I'm looking at upgrading to the Pro plan soon. Do you have any recommendations on what to start trading first? Anything to stay clear of? At the end of the day, right? Any recommendations on what to start trading first? Well, it's all about subjective conviction at the end of the day, Matt. Like when you're trading in certain markets, if you've just genuinely got zero conviction that that market's going to do what you think it's going to do, then it's going to be very, very difficult to trade there, right? There's objective conviction, which is looking at the technicals, looking at the levels, trading around 50K, for example, on Bitcoin, or, looking at the Sonar trades, seeing those Sonar setups. That's objective things. Looking at the RTD, seeing the strength of the overall trend, stuff like that. But like I said before, where it's like, I just am almost exclusively looking for long positions on SPX, and in a time when it's downtrending, I just really don't trade it. It's because I really have no conviction that SPX is going to dump for any considerable amount of time, knowing what I know about global macroeconomics, right? The same way as I have no real conviction at a time like this that BTC is going to continue on in a downtrend for any considerable amount of time. The same way as I just hate trading Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Like, it's just a shit currency pair to trade. I absolutely hate it because it just chops around, it does all this bullshit. I have zero conviction about Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. So that means I just don't go into those markets. So when you're going and you're exploring a new market, you're exploring the pro plan, for example, go and get some conviction on a market. Go into, if you've got conviction about Bitcoin, for example, right? This is going to give you so much more confidence to look at the objective factors and then use your subjective conviction to actually, take reasonably large trades or increase your risk to reward ratio and stuff like that. And when you have that subjective conviction in a market, that's when you can achieve really great things. So yeah, building both the objective and the subjective conviction is super important. So what I would say, Matt, is just go and look at how a market moves. Look at how, for example, when you get the pro plan, how SPX has moved for the last, 18 months, and look at the way in each one of these pullbacks we kind of push directly into an important level, and then we continued on to the upside, right? So for example, this one right here, we push straight into this level here and then punch straight out of it again. So this is going to give you, a ton of subjective conviction about this market when you just see how it respects levels over and over and over and over again. So that's my suggestion to you when you first get the pro plan. Go and have a look around and see what it is that looks like you have, looks like it respects levels, and you can build some conviction around. Is Asger still with us? Asger, are you with us?
Yeah. Hey, Tom.
You were way too quiet. I was really concerned. You're never this quiet. So
I had the issue with the Bluetooth driver. It's just it keeps just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
That.
Yeah. No
so
worries.
you'll probably lose me again. But
yeah, all good, man.
Let's continue. Let's look at some more Sonar trades. I think you had.
I've got a list.
Out, yeah,
I've got a list of just some winning trades and some losing trades, and we're just going to go through, take a look at them, see how they all went. So Euro NOK actually played out today, right? I caught this one.
Yeah. It did beautiful.
I got this
really
trade. In and out, same candlestick. Euro NOK and what?
You did the 15-minute trade, and
yes.
I did the 1 hour, but both of them worked.
Oh,
That's
really? Okay, you
Yeah.
were on the 1 hour. Right. I didn't even know there was a 1 hour, to be honest. I saw the 15 minutes straight up and I took that one. But this is what it looked like when the Sonar first showed up. So, you know, all of you guys that are new or you haven't realized yet, but the Sonar feed is really awesome because what we can see now is when the trade first shows up on the Sonar, when the Sonar first presents it as a trade, when the strategy first presents it as a trade, we can see, okay, this is what the market looked like at that time that it was presented to us. And then we can click this play button and we can see how that actually played out, right? So we can see how the price action looked as it played out, and we can basically get an idea and we can start building these patterns in our mind of, we can start building these patterns in our mind of what does a good trade look like, or what does a winning trade look like, and what does a losing trade look like, okay? And yeah, let's take a look at this one, for example, on Euro NOK. Asger and I both took this one here. So anything to talk about in particular in this trade? You know, the first thing I noticed for me, Asger, was the strong downtrend. Like, look at these downtrending numbers, first of all.
Yep.
Huge downtrend here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if we scroll out a little bit, like, look at how bearish this shit is. Like, if I just scroll out now, I'm like, okay, yeah, absolutely a massive downtrend.
Really great trade.
And
really great trade.
Really great trade. And what is it? It's an extension trade. So it's that mean reversion trade that we're looking at here. So it's kind of like, okay, we're getting a really strange pump, right, against the overall trend. It's like this market is pumping right now for God knows what reason against the overall trend, and it's pushing into like a really, really important level. Okay. And the idea here is basically I want to trade this back down to that overall mean, back in line with the overall trend. And really, yeah, it just punched straight into our extension levels here off this big bullish move, and then dumped straight out, continued on with that overall trend. So, you know, this momentum would scare a lot of people out, don't you think, Asger? Like, sometimes seeing that momentum, people might start going long because it's like, okay, this market's going up now, I'm gonna buy it. But really,
that's the problem, you know, that's what a lot of people are doing wrong out there. Now we're fixing that for a lot of people. They don't even realize it, but there's a transformation happening when you don't have these tools available to you, when you don't have this technology available to you, and you just have the MetaTrader terminal. You know, it is really easy to build some sort of conviction or case in your mind about a particular setup that you think now it's going to go up,
yeah,
while you don't realize that the probability of this actually happening, it doesn't mean it can't happen, but it means that the actual probability of it happening is extremely small because it's just a downtrending market. But how do you know it's a long-term downtrending market if you just have the MetaTrader? You don't know that. You can look at the price action, but even
well, I mean, people tend to be here though. Like, that's where people tend to be usually when they're like looking at a chart. People seldom scroll out, right, and have a look at the bigger picture usually.
Yeah, and you know, in a lot of ways, for many people, trading is just, you know, it's a sort of gambling form, but it can go really wrong. It can go really bad.
Yeah.
And but people lie to themselves because they tell themselves, oh, you know, it's just gambling, it's just fun or whatever. But then they get upset when they lose. Like, you don't go to like carnival, what is it called? These shows, you know, where you show up and you have to like throw a ball at something,
Carnival.
and then you
like a carnival.
A carnival, yeah, exactly. Like, you don't get upset when you pay, I don't know what, $5 for a ticket to doing whatever it is, and then you don't win. Like, you don't get upset about it, but that you do in trading. And then that can really compound from that. Like, if you don't know what you're doing and you take a loss and then you take another loss and you take another loss, you don't even understand it at that point, but you are mentally screwed. Even it's really hard. Like, no matter what really comes from that situation, whether you make a good trade and you win and so on, it's just really difficult to even understand what's going on. So we're building technology to help people with this, because clearly people are going to continue doing this. Like, trading is only going to get bigger, right? And people need help in this independent world where you can basically do anything. People need real help and that's the tools we're building to help you with this.
For sure.
Let's look at another
Let's look at this other trade here, though, at the same time. So what's interesting is the other great thing as well about the Sonar feed, right, is that we can see what showed up at the same time and where correlations are lying in markets. Okay, so we've got obviously found 6 hours ago and then also found 6 hours ago, right? Okay, Grammarly is telling me the definition of found. Found 6 hours ago, both Euro NOK and USD NOK. Okay, so basically, if you look at just like the price action on these two markets, you know, it's relatively similar just from like this recent price action here. You know, we have the dump, we have this little like bottom thing, and then it pops back up, and we've got this sudden bullish move, and both of these trades showed up at the exact same time, essentially, the exact same time. But if we zoom out a little bit, oh gosh, there we go. If we zoom out a little bit here on both of them, what we know is we've got a strong downtrend on Euro NOK and only an average downtrend on USD NOK. So where we've got obviously the global at 233% down, like this market is literally just dying right now, versus only 77% down on USD NOK. So this is a, you know, objectively, you can look at these two markets from the objective measure of the RTD and see, okay, cool. Well, out of these two trades, they look exactly the same, you know, from a price action perspective around recent price action. Which one am I going to take? Well, objectively, obviously, I'm taking Euro NOK, right? Everyone would say, I'm going to take Euro NOK because it's in a stronger downtrend. Yes or no? Yes. For sure. Yes. Okay. A resounding yes from the crowd. And then you can see here, right? You had these two options. You wouldn't take them both at the same time because they're very highly correlated. You could win them both. You could lose them both. One might win, one might lose, whatever. But this one actually continues up that little bit higher, pushes that little bit higher, takes the stop loss, then it dumps down because the trend is just not as strong as on Euro NOK. Okay, so you know the objective measure of RTD is really, really important there. Anything else you would say on these two?
Yeah. So the point is, when you trade with Breakfree Trading, and you trade with our technology, it puts you in like a completely different control, really, than when you trade any other way, because you operate on a completely different level. Like just making these thoughts about, oh, okay, 6 hours ago we found two Sonar setups. They're somewhat correlated in a way. Let's look at which one is best. Just being able to manifest that idea in your head, you are ahead of like 90% of the other people participating in the market. And if you can do that, you operate on a professional level. You have a much greater chance to learn, but also just like really make a lot of money from trading. Because it puts you on the path that you need to be on to really accelerate this for yourself. And there's no point being stuck in endless loops of, you know, things that doesn't make you a better trader, stuff that doesn't contribute to growing and figuring this out.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like a really good idea to trade with this, because it's these opportunities are so excellent. And if you are only working with great trades and you're not working with shit trades, meaning that you don't get yourself in trouble for just like something that's just like it, you know, that wasn't even a good idea in the first place. It was just, you know, you just got in a trade because you wanted to get in a trade because you're bored or something. Well, you know, as long as you stay clear of that and you just work with really good trade setups, you'll be just fine. Like you'll do really good. I promise. You're gonna learn a ton, and you're gonna make a lot of money down the line for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And Jihad is saying, how and where do I get your platform? So you can sign up for a 7-day trial, Jihad. Just go to breakfreetrading.com. That's breakfreetrading.com. I'll put it in the chat. And yeah, you can sign up for a 7-day trial there. Okay, Jihad. And Abdi is saying, how I start trading Forex with no knowledge. Well, we have an academy as well to teach you how to use the algorithm, and the algorithm's going to kind of Mr. Miyagi you into thinking in terms of probabilities, in thinking in terms of if-then statements, thinking in terms of building a thesis and trading around that thesis. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's a very, very safe environment for somebody with no knowledge to trade in. Incredibly safe environment for someone with no knowledge to trade in. Okay?
Good answer, Tom.
We've then got another trade here. I don't know whether this was a winner or a loser. 9 hours ago on Euro Aussie dollar. We've only got a week downtrend here.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look and see what happened on this here. Okay,
Oh.
Caught one entry and then it dumped.
Nice.
Caught one entry and it dumped.
I mean, that's beautiful. That is just beautiful. And like the truth of the matter is that even when it comes to professional market makers that basically do this for a living, and bots that works on mean reversion, like it's pretty common that they don't get all the fill that they wanted. They don't get all the position open with these short-term trades, like 50-minute trades. Like it's very common that that doesn't happen. So, you know, of course, it would be great if we had more, but at the same time, you simply don't know how much it's going to shoot once it get into the entry zone. So you got to just work with this approach and just use it every time, because it's going to help you in the long term instead of just taking all positions too early. It doesn't make sense. It's not how pro trader would do it. Yeah,
for sure. And Sam's asking, have you calculated an average win rate for Sonar trades at each time frame? So yeah, I mean, we know that the higher time frames, so the 1 day and 4 hour time frames, we're in like 70 to 73% winning rates. If you're just literally placing the trades, right? That doesn't include anything like getting out at break even. That doesn't include anything like, having any sort of discretion around which trades to take, which trades look good, which trades look, not so good, things like that. And then as you move down the time frames, that winning rate reduces, and you'll see why as we continue through this talk here today, why that winning rate reduces, okay? So we're looking at a lot of times a fresh test is incredibly important of these levels, right? When a trade shows up, it tests that level for the first time in a while, and then it just kind of shoots in the direction, and then it comes back and tests it again. These second tests or third tests tend to be losers on the lower time frames, and that's something to be very, very mindful of when you're trading on lower time frames, which obviously, just raw results simply, or raw average win rate results can't take into account, and where human intervention can improve those winning rates. Yeah, that's well said, Tom. Like the average win rate, right? Like when we talk about this, well, you have to ask, well, who are we talking about? Who is operating? Is it a robot or is it you? And there's a very big difference between this. The idea that we came up with is that we wanted to use robots to teach humans how to trade, because humans suck at trading. And that doesn't mean you, as a beginner, that you can trade as good as a robot, but I feel, as myself at least, that I could do it just as good. And that gives me the ability to operate on a different level than you on the 15-minute time frame. And this is years of experience. Like, you're not going to get years of experience operating, managing trades, watching price action, reading correlations, and so on. You're simply not going to be able to take this in so fast. And that's also why 50-minute trades are restricted from people when they just start with us, because we want them to get a little bit of experience before they get involved with it, because we don't want to give people the wrong idea that you just put these 50-minute trades on and then you go about your business. That's not how you do it. You put your 50-minute trades on. The minute that it's even close to your answer, you watch it, and you sit there and you're just in front of it and you're managing it. And depending on exactly what happens, it might hit your entry and be at TP1 within 15 seconds apart, 10 seconds apart. It could be 5 seconds apart, and you got to be fast. You got to be fast enough to close the trade at that point, take the profit, and not get stopped out, because there's obviously a high volatility. If that happens, it means there's a high volatility, and the next candle that comes could very likely just strike you into stop loss. And you will see this happen
in these 15-minute Sonar trades. So it's not fair to give an average win rate because you will not compare to how the robot operates. But you will be able to, and you will learn a lot from how this robot operates. That's the idea. Use robots to teach humans. And this is going to be a common thing in the future as well. I believe this, you've seen it in like movies as well. Just general that like intelligence is just helping humans learn. And I'm a big believer in that concept. And I think we can apply a lot of it to our world. And I think trading is a great place to start. So that's why we started with it. And I think it's doing a good job. Of course, there's room for improvement. But I think it's like if you want to trade and actually no matter what level you're at, this is what I believe gives you the best opportunities, the best chance to make it as a trader.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I spoke about before how it's like a really safe environment for new traders to come in with no knowledge to start trading. And the high time frames are a really safe environment because you're not getting trades thrown into your face every hour or every 15 minutes or, you know, whatever, like you do on the lower time frames. And that's what makes it safe. Whereas if a new trader came with no knowledge, no experience, saw this Sonar feed and just went, oh, look at all the trades, click, 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 click. It's like you could literally get stopped out on 10 trades all at once here. And then you go, oh yeah, I just got scammed. But it's like, no, you didn't get scammed. And that's why we do restrict the lower time frame trading until you reach level 4, until you've got some sort of, even the most minor level of knowledge about how this all works, right? So if you're upset about that, then that's the reason why. Euro NZD, let's look at this one. Again, we've got a low trend here. It looks very similar to obviously Euro Aussie dollar, but it did show up like 3 hours after Euro Aussie dollar did.
Look at that bottom wick though.
This here.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And
what is that?
I have no idea. No idea. It's some Forex, you know, the normal Forex price action that just wrecks people and then sends the market in the other direction, huh? But yeah, I mean, we've also got like a real parabolic looking move here as well, right? Looks
yeah, it's
quite parabolic.
Pretty strong.
But I don't know what this. I don't know what's going to happen here. But
I don't know what this trade can do, but I wouldn't take it. I would not take this trade. I don't like the wick. I don't like the curling. I don't like this. I don't like New Zealand dollar markets in general.
Yeah, me neither. I hate New Zealand dollar markets.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah. Okay. So we caught entry 1, got out here, but it was like, this is a scalp. This is like the definition of a scalp. Pardon? What?
Zoom in, Tom.
Yeah.
Zoom in on the.
Can we see that better now?
All right, that's good.
So obviously the trade shows up here on this line, and then the next candle takes entry 1 and TP 1 in that one candle. And it's like, this is like the fresh test of that level, because you got to think this is that like hard resistance level on the chart in terms of X mode, right? And then after this, you got to be like, okay, I'm done. I'm not moving back into this market again. I've made my money. You know, if you did end up going into this trade, because this is genuinely the definition of a scalp. And then it just continues on to the upside with this parabolic move here.
Yeah, and you can see you have very little time. You maybe have a time window here of from the trade entries made, the first entries made till you decide that I'm no longer going to be engaged with this market. You probably have 15, 30 minutes max, and you need to make a decision by then. And if you don't, you're fucked. Mm-hmm. That's the case here. And here you gotta have the knowledge. You gotta know that you gotta be able to tell when things are just not working out for you the way that you want. And this goes into like, you gotta watch 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame, 15 minute, 1 hour, all of it, and combine it all into like a decision of this is what I choose to do.
Yeah.
And it gets difficult. But yeah, as you heard, both Tom and I before the trade decide like this is not a trade we wanna know. You also have to know that. You gotta know that when you have a liquidity spike in the opposite direction like that, it often clears up and goes the opposite way after that in a strong fashion. You have to have that knowledge, and the only way you have that knowledge is by seeing it play out a number of times. Like we can tell you this here, I can tell you this here right now, and I just did. But the chance of it actually sticking in your brain, very small. But after losing 100 trades like this, you will remember. Trust me, you will remember, because I remember. And it like I don't know how many times you need to lose this trade in this particular price action and this setup and so on and the way it looks.
Yeah.
But this is just something that just builds over time with you. Yeah.
And without like this exact thesis built like exactly as it is, a newbie trader entering on that level is never getting out of this trade with profit. Like, there's just supreme panic, right? They see this candle here and they go, oh, whatever the heck this is called, in terms of what is this? I don't even know. But, I just call it a wick, right? They see this wick and this really small body and they go, oh, this is going to dump, right? And they see this next bearish candle, oh, this is going to dump, and they start targeting somewhere, off down here or some shit like that. And then it goes against them and it's like, oh no, it's fine. I'll hold it. And then all of a sudden just keeps moving against them. They move their stop loss and they just end up turning, what could have been just a small win, scalp, win, move on, go look at something else, into like the biggest loss of their life, and they liquidate their account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you have that price action that's grinding into the entry level like this, and for that long, considering it's a 15-minute trade, as soon as you have that many candles grinding like that, it's not a high probability trade anymore. You gotta, and you just gotta cut it, and you just gotta accept, hey, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go find something else, and that is difficult as well. So, but that said, these 15-minute trades, they're fun. You learn a lot from the price action itself. And I'm looking forward to more people, learning through Sonar, and especially the lower time frame trades, because it has a lot to offer.
RTD update. Can you see that? RTD update, can't wait. What update's coming on RTD? Maybe Manny can tell us.
Oh, I see. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, we haven't told anyone about that update yet, so we can't really speak.
No, we can't speak on that. No.
You know which update?
Oh, of course, yeah. I know the update. Yeah.
That update.
Yeah.
But actually, I think we're gonna have another update for Sonar on Friday. We already released one update this week on Monday. We are gonna have probably another one on Friday, and I think this one really puts like a finished touch on Sonar. So it's like, in many ways, I would say at least done for like version 1, because the problem that Sonar has right now is the way that the trades are being seen. There's some trades that deserves more attention than other trades, but it doesn't mean that these trades shouldn't be displayed at all. It's just how you choose to display these trades is really important as well. And we got something pretty cool coming for that. That's gonna accelerate people's ability to find good trades.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, we got Euro Aussie dollar here on 15-minute time frame as well. So this is the BRC before we had the extension. So we probably know the result of this one, but Leo wants to know, can we set alerts for major minor pairs alerts? Great alert instrument. Oh, Sonar.
Try. Yeah.
New setup on all setups, instruments on all timeframes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. We could probably fix this, but currently you're gonna have to do it manually for each market.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it manually for each market at the moment. We can fix that, yeah.
I would probably just have it, if it was me, I would probably just set it like it is here. Sorry, bring up the tab again, Tom.
Yeah.
I would probably just leave it like this and then specify the time frames, because then if you are on Discovery, I mean, the majority of the trades that's going to pop up will be.
Well, there's only other metals really then, like metals and exotics, but yeah,
Yeah,
majority
so
will be.
I would just use this in the way like just set it up for all the trades so you get notifications whenever that is.
Oh, Manny was just trying to troll us, trying to see if
God,
we would slip up about that massive update.
Nice scam.
Yeah, nice one, Manny. Thanks. Okay, cool. Let's continue on with this having a look at trades situation here. So yeah, we've got the BRC before the extension trade on Euro Aussie dollar that showed up 16 hours ago. I mean, this has already had the fresh test, right? This has wicked into the level a couple of times here previously. Just kind of what I'm thinking immediately. 15-minute time frame trade. It might work, who knows? But that's kind of what I see straight away.
I think it's gonna. I don't know. I think it's gonna work, but it's not pretty. It's not. It's one of these trades that you would have to get out of really fast. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Play. Punches straight through it. Punches straight through it, and you know.
So okay. So what can we learn from this trade? Well, again, once you have a Sonar trade and there's a lot of candles in between when the setup was made and then versus where it is now, you have to understand that that changes everything. Like it really changes everything. Here you can read the price action and see that this market has slowly been creeping upwards here, and that's not. Honestly, it's not ideal because what I was hoping for was like a quick wick into the entry and then down again, because at that point it fits towards that because that's kind of what it's doing. It's like in a, it was already in sort of a flag at that point.
Yep.
But what it's doing here is just consolidation that is grinding upwards, which is not really what I want to see in my example because it's no longer the same. It's no longer the same setup. So you also got to be aware, you know, when the setup just has changed so much, the market has just changed too much. But yeah, that was a loss. GG. So that's it. That's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you just take losses, and that's a part of trading as well. You got to accept that.
Yeah, we talked about that in the funding call we had last night. You know, the outcome of the individual result is meaningless. What matters is your performance, though. You know, your performance is meaningful on a trade-by-trade basis, but the actual outcome on a trade-by-trade basis is meaningless in the grand scheme of things. But what you're kind of saying here is like this is a long flag, basically, at this point, and then it turns into consolidation when it just continues bouncing around here, yeah?
Yeah, it's too long. It's too long. But who knows? And that candle, that entry candle, I don't know. Not ideal. Let's go on. Let's move along. Let's see what else we got.
There's a question from Sam there as well, if you want to look at it. Asger, you mentioned not worrying about missed entries. Do you mitigate entries not being hit by placing multiple correlated orders, then cancelling some to keep risk down once some entries are hit? I don't.
That sounds very complicated, Sam. No, I put it in. I put in what I'm willing to take, and
if it misses, it misses.
Yeah,
no one trade will make me rich, and no one trade will send me broke.
Like what I will do sometimes is that depending on the spread of my broker, I might modify my entries to move them a little bit further, either forward or backward, upwards or downwards, depending on the position. So I might try to front run a little bit to get more entries, but you really cannot do this too much because there's certain limited where you just kind of, it's very expensive doing this. And that's kind of why high spread markets are not great for doing scalping and 15-minute trades in general. You really want like a good liquidity market with a low spread and a good broker. It's really important because once you start front running too much, you will get your entries earlier, and the TPs are going to be much closer, but your stop loss is going to remain the same, and you're gonna screw up that risk reward ratio greatly. And it's it's yeah, you gotta be careful about the spread. So
well, and then what you start doing is you start edging further and further and further up, right? Like you go, oh, I'll just move it a little bit further up this time and a little bit further up. And then all of a sudden you're up here entering where you should be entering here. Market dumps down through. And then it's like, oh, I need to get out at break even, respects the level to the downside, and then continues on. You're like, oh, well, shit, you know? I've backed myself into a corner right now. Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to trade the levels itself.
Mm.
When you're trading the levels itself directly, it really maximizes your opportunity, because what you got to think about when you're putting on trades is not really how much money it's gonna make you. It's like, how do I get out of this shit if it goes in the wrong, you know, if it doesn't look like I want to, how do I get out of it?
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're not trading directly on the X mode levels, you will find that the price will reject these levels, and that might not be where your interests are. So you will not be able to get out of break even, and you're going to take a lot of losses. And that's just sad. So always trade the X mode levels. You can front run a little bit, but really not too much. Really not too much. And
like sometimes when I'm trading X mode, I might place an entry like there. I use these, I don't know why, I've always done it ever since like day one Asger. I've always put my horizontal lines, I use these balls, these circles, and I go like, okay, a horizontal line on the circle there. And it's just like my lining up kind of thing. So I don't know, it sounds childish, but this is kind of what I do. It's just like, I just like the top of this circle to put my entries on. But also, I want to add to this as well, Sam's question, because this question is really like a mindset question more than anything else at the end of the day. You know, the mindset of missed entries. It's like, okay, market's moving towards my entry. It misses. It goes in the direction that, you know, my thesis that I built kind of expected it to go in. And it's like, okay, awesome. My thesis was right. It just didn't quite get to my entry level. Like, that's great. And at the end of the day, the reason why we don't care about missing an entry like this is because one trade is not going to make you rich anyway. So if you miss the entry on this one trade, it was never going to make you rich. It was going to be really meaningless in the grand scheme of things. So who cares that you missed that entry? You know, caring so much about missing that entry is just going to be detrimental to you in the future, because you're always going to be holding on to this resentment of like, I missed that entry, and now you're going to go and modify your actions in the future, and you're going to let yourself do different shit that you know you shouldn't do because you missed that entry.
It's a good point, Tom. It's a really good point, because we both had many times where we're missing these entries, but it doesn't, you know, of course it sucks, and it's not that we appreciate it. I mean, but we know whatever we was doing was perfectly correct. We're just off a little bit. You know, market didn't quite get there or whatever, but our approach, if we just keep doing this like 5 years, 10 years, we'll be very, very well off. Like, we'll do everything very well. We know what we're doing is correct. It's just sometimes it just doesn't quite get there, but other times it will get exactly there, and it's going to produce a massive bounce, and it's going to produce great profits.
Exactly.
There was a question from Manny about using EMAs on lower time frame. Tom, can you go to like 5 minute time frame?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Oh, I see. We actually, we do have an RTD update. We do have an RTD update, Tom. Right?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't released this, but we actually do have an RTD update. So about using EMAs on lower time frame in place of the RTD. Sure, you can do that. You can go ahead, but honestly, my trading is doing really, really well just using RTD and X mod levels and price action. Like, that's all you need. 15-minute time frame trades, the lower time frame trades are not so much. You know, I don't think EMAs are going to contribute to it much more than the X mod levels itself and the RTD in conjunction at the same time. Like, if you want to trade low time frame, just trade the 15-minute Sonar setups. Honestly, that's your best chance to make it as a low time frame trader. If you try to create your own, that's fine. I'm not saying you can't make money. You can. for sure. It's just not an easy way to trade scalping. It takes a very long time. There's so many different lessons to learn that you don't really get to learn the same way on 1 hour, 4 hour time frame. Like you don't really get into the same stuff. It's like, it's like drinking a beer that's 1 day time frame, and then you have fucking in Europe we have something called absinthe. It's absinthe, I don't know. Yeah, it's 70% alcohol. It's the only thing I drank one time in my life, and I just remember I emptied that shot and I looked up, and that was the last thing I saw for hours. So okay. A lot of things unfolded after. That's how I would compare 1 day to a 15-minute time frame. Like it's a different level. It's a different direction. It's a different way to live life. And some people love it, but in the short term it's very exhausting. And your best chance of making it as a low time frame trader, look to Sonar 50-minute trades. Yeah,
for sure. Pierre's just saying you can exit with X mode levels at break even. You can put your TP to the middle entry, and the lower and upper will offset each other. Yes. They will. They will. It's true. So then you might not catch the upper or whatever. But yeah, you can do that. That's a good method for exiting at break even for sure, Pierre. Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's keep going. So you
yeah, go on, Tom.
Oh, you want to keep doing this? Let's keep doing this.
Yeah. We got a few minutes left. Let's have a look at some more trades.
Let's look at like a higher time frame trade instead, huh? Let's look at a high. Okay, 1 day Euro SEK. Euro SEK.
It's just boring. It's just boring trade. I don't think it's worth talking about.
Okay, it's not worth talking about. All right. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. Weak trend and stop is tight, said Dr. Mo on this one.
All right, let's see it. Play it.
Let's see it.
Jesus Christ.
Woo! New Zealand dollar again. Just punching through, right? And it ground on the...
Sorry, my Bluetooth disconnected.
Oh, did it? So, like, it ground on this entry again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles all around the entry level on a 1 hour time frame trade. Like, just too many, right? Too many all around that entry level. Far too many candles. This needed to just go up and take out TP1 and 2, like, within a couple of candles of getting entered here. That's super important. Having these 6 candles all grind on that level and just keep punching into that level over and over and over again, you need to be getting out of that. You need to absolutely be getting out of that. All right, 4 hours USD yen. I like the setup. We'll monitor closely. Pip Hunter 8. Pip Hunter, 18 likes. We had a bunch of comments on this. Good work. Like, this is a perfect looking entry, right? We've got a good looking uptrend, strong bullish move in the market, good level, perfect looking BRC trade, really. Really fantastic. Fresh test as well. Notice fresh test. You would have caught your TP1 and 2 before you would have been out at break even. If you were bold on the 4 hour time frame, maybe you take the second entry. You know, you can take those second entries on 4 hour and 1 day. I really wouldn't be taking them on the lower time frames, 15 minute and 1 hour. It's like that first entry, first TP, take it, move on, right? That's like the scalping type trade. Whereas the 4 hour and the 1 day, you can take the second entries. It's more reasonable to take second entries on those higher time frames. Okay, just like in this example right here. But yeah, great looking trade. Good work to everyone who caught on to this one. Similar 6 days ago, 5 days ago. Pretty much very similar trade, both 4 hour SGD. And yeah, USD SGD, USD JPY. Very similar, very highly correlated. I think Asger's Bluetooth headset just died, so it's just me now for the end of the session. So ask any questions as well, please. Put any questions into the chat that you might have, any trades you want to have a look at that are available right now, or any questions you might have about like I don't know, it could be anything. Bitcoin, US, SPX, whatever it might be. Let me know in the chat here, okay? And we'll just keep playing through these various trades and see how they went. Strong downtrending market. Nice strong downtrending market. Played out quite nicely here. You can see it was like the first candle came in, and then immediately in that next candle, it just punched straight out of the level, right? It just punched straight out of the level immediately here on the 4-hour time frame, which is exactly what you want to be seeing in a swing extension trade like this. You don't want a market hanging around extension zones for too long, okay? You just don't want a market hanging around extension zones for too long. It needs to really get rejected immediately. Are there any spots left on the BFT fund? Yeah, there's 2 spots available at the moment, I think. So yeah, if you just go to funding.breakfreetrading.com, I'm pretty sure there's 2 spots available unless one of them got filled since I've been on the stream. So yeah, it should be 2 spots available, I'd say. Lachlan Simmons says gold. Leor says USD Mexican peso 1 hour, and Jose wants to look at XAU USD. So let's take a look at those. Yeah, are these all Sonar trades, guys? So should I look in the Sonar for them, or should I look on the chart directly for them? Let's just look on the chart. Okay. On the daily time frame, XAU USD. XAU USD on the daily time frame really doesn't give me any, like, it doesn't really make me want to do anything in this market, right? Like, nothing. Like, it just looks not good to trade around. Like, just look at this market. I think we asked, well, yeah, there's really just nothing I want to do here. Maybe there's a short position if we push down here and retest that, but I don't like how it's just been messing around here. This is just like what you would call fuckery, right? Around the level. Just complete fuckery around the level. Like, it just doesn't excite me at all. Nothing really to do. I wouldn't be trading on it. So we looked at gold, and we've got USD Mexican peso. Let's look at UXD Mexican peso. I mean, immediately it's exotic, right? So it's an exotic market. Okay. Got a daily trade that looks quite good here. This daily position looks really nice. I like the idea of this daily position for sure. Good looking stop loss placement, good looking entry, some good market structure all around here. Love the look of that. Yeah, overall, it's a very nice trend. I think this looks like a great looking trade, right, on the 1 day time frame. But let's look at the 1 hour time frame. That's what you're interested in here. Okay, it's pushing in right now. Tested it once. Pushing in to test it again. Good looking trend. Look, I think it could play out. I think it could play out. Really, it could. But you got to be mindful that it's like, okay, really, this candle right here was that fresh test of the level. That right there. I don't like that it's coming in immediately again to test that level once more. After a week like that, what I really want to see is I want to see that just continue on to the upside, right? I don't want to see then the bears just take over once more and punch us down into the level again. Because, yeah, this is that fresh test. So, you know, it doesn't scream to me like take the trade. I think it could probably work out, but it doesn't scream at me like take this trade right now. Yeah, it's a great uptrend, but this here having already played out, I'm like, nah. Ben, Euro Ruble. Oh, Ruble. Oh, no. Ruble, very exotic. 4-hour non-sonar has been in a massive downtrend for ages. Could you take a look? Yeah, for sure. Euro Ruble. You know, I was trading, I don't know why. It was like very early in my use of Breakfree Trading, back when we were on trading view, and I missed, and we didn't have a position size calculator, and I missed-sized my position on a ruble trade, and it just absolutely, why am I not getting any market data on the RTD? No idea. Not sure, but yeah, it's in a strong downtrend. I mean, maybe there's some level to trade around, perhaps here, or if it gets back here. But overall, you know, what I want to probably see is this just punch through extensions, that turned into N, punch through here, come back, retest, continue on like that. That would probably be a reasonable position on ruble, I would say, on the euro ruble. But yeah, to finish my story, I missed size a ruble position. It was like 10 times larger than what it should have been, because obviously ruble trades at like, you know, it's like, what is it against US dollar? Because it was a USD ruble position. And the position was just 10 times too big, and I was just freaking out because it was like far too big of a trade. Far too big of a trade. Lachlan Simmons, you really don't like gold. This is the second time I've asked what gold is doing. I looked at gold just before. I just looked at gold. XAU USD, that's gold. I just looked at it. I said it doesn't interest me in taking. Yeah, I looked at gold. But I don't love gold. I mean, it's a pretty legacy market, right? I don't really like it. It's not the first market I think about when I'm looking to trade. Someone said something about Jan Kramer. There are not so many stocks on the Sonar. Only US stocks, but not so many. Also, no German or French stocks. Do I have to scan myself? Yeah, you will have to scan yourself. You know, if we loaded up French and, you know, you got to think, right? People are scrolling through this because they want to trade markets that are relevant to them at the end of the day, right? You know, people want to see trades on markets that are relevant to them. And if you're scrolling through this and you're just seeing a bunch of German, French, Aussie stocks, you know, stuff that, you know, doesn't really mean anything to you, then it's not a great experience, right? And there's not really, most people aren't even probably awake to trade those. So yeah, go scan those. Go build a watch list of German stocks. Go build a watch list of German stocks, of French stocks, and then just go and just tap through those stocks. You know, go through here to the watch list here, just like this crypto watch list, and just go, okay, these are all the crypto markets that I care about, or these are all the German stocks that I care about. And I'm just going to go and look through all these German stocks. Okay, nothing going on German stocks. Cool. I'm going to go back to trading Forex. I'm going to go back to trading crypto. I'm going to go back to trading indices, you know, the German index, for example, something like this, and do that instead. Lachlan, no, I'm saying on two different lives. Oh, yeah. I mean, last time you asked, I remember the price action was really similar to what it looked like just now. So, I mean, it's just ever since it did that, ever since gold, XAU, USD, did that dump and pump kind of thing. Let's look at the 1 day. Ever since gold did this, it's like, okay, I don't really care about it anymore right now because of all of this that's happening. That right there. It's just like, I just don't want to stay in. I don't want to trade in this market, right? It's not trending. It's not really, it's just not meaningful to me right now. So, yeah, I have no real subjective conviction about what might happen in this market. So I don't really care about it. And this price action just looks gross to me. This just looks like what I would call gross price action. These little moves to the upside, pump. Little move to the upside, pump. Little move to the upside. Turns US 30. Yeah, let's look at US 30. I mean, I prefer S&P 500 personally, but like if I'm trading on a US index, it's usually S&P 500. Once more, you know, it's the exact same price action as SPX, like I talked about at the start of the stream. This trade, it's kind of, it's grinding against the entry a little bit here. Could it play out? Yeah, it could absolutely play out. I could absolutely see this market moving down to test this level here at 32,812. I could absolutely see that happening. And if that's going to happen, this is where you want to enter it for sure, right? For sure, that's where you want to enter it. I could see that happening. At the exact same time, I could see, you know, some sort of bill get passed where $3 trillion is going to get printed over the next 2 years, and it just literally teleports up into, you know, 35,9375. But if you have, you know, conviction on shorting this US 30, then yeah, I could see the market moving into this level here. I could see that happening. For sure. For sure. All right, guys, get in your final questions, and then I'm going to sign off here for this stream. Asger's obviously already gone. Just some Bluetooth issues with his mic. Thanks again for joining, everybody. Appreciate it very much. And I'll catch up with you all next week at the next stream, okay? All right, guys. Thank you. And good night.